Well, I'll be damned. I didn't realize that intro was that loud. I really did not. And now the dogs want to get to barking. Y'all hold on a minute, cause I'm about to do something. Look, the reason I'm sitting here now by myself is because my co-host Pooh, but Queenie, right? She's sick of Puppy Death. So, but I figure we still need to cover it because she's ready for them to just go on and do what they're gonna do with him because all the stories that are coming out, she's just over it. So since she don't want to do it with me, I'll do it by myself, and I'm gonna listen to Law and Crime because they came up with some new stuff. Uh, Diddy Bop's son Christian has been caught up, and he done did some things he ain't had no business doing. So now he's got a lawsuit. Why are they putting their hands on people that don't want to be touched? But anyway, I'm gonna go and get started, and we're gonna watch this together because I ain't got nothing else to do. So yeah, let's get started. Yep, y'all here with me? Let's get it going. You're tuned into What the Fuck News Reacts. Why? Because I don't have shit else to do, and we keep up with the shenanigans, so you don't have to. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Now, okay, I'm back, and I'm like I said, we're gonna watch this together. We're gonna watch. His name is Jesse. He's the host of Sidebar Law and Crime with Jesse Weber, and he's talking about Sean Combs' son, Christian, has been hit with a lawsuit because he with a sexual assault case. So we're gonna see what's going on with that. And I'm about to kill my dog, but let's get started.
With legal papers in connection with his own sexual assault lawsuit. We're going to break down what this could mean
The
right
sound
now.
is too
Welcome to
low, but it will
Sidebar,
be
presented by
adjusted.
Law and Crime. Jesse Weber. All right, so we have an interesting update for you in the Sean Combs, Christian Combs saga. The timing of it's interesting. That's what we're going to talk about. I have a great guest to join me in a minute, and we'll talk all about that. But what's happening is In Touch is reporting that Christian Combs,
Mm.
Sean Combs' son, was served with legal paperwork at his father's Miami mansion. And that was the property that was raided by federal authorities earlier this year before Sean Combs was arrested on sex trafficking, racketeering, and prostitution charges. By the way, that Miami mansion seemed to be the same property by which Sean Combs' legal team was saying that's where we're proposing Sean Combs stay on home confinement if he's granted bail. Now, the current judge overseeing this case, Judge Arun Subramanian, said no, Miami's not going to work. If he's going to do home confinement, has to be in New York. But it doesn't really matter because at the end of the day, Judge Subramanian denied Sean Combs bail. That was the third time that Sean Combs had actually been denied
That's what
bail.
I heard.
Now, going back to this legal paperwork that Christian Combs has served, according to In Touch, this came from Grace O'Markey. This is somebody we've spoken about before here on Sidebar. She was the one who filed a lawsuit against Christian earlier this year. And we remember that O'Markey's civil lawsuit accuses Christian of assault, battery, sexual assault, intentional infliction of emotional distress for an alleged incident that happened on Sean Combs' yacht back in 2022.
Over the past 5 years, Anheuser-Busch has invested nearly $2 billion into our facilities and our people.
Timing of the service of these papers in a second. But first, I want to recap this lawsuit for you. So according to the civil complaint, O'Markey, 25 years old at the time this happened, or allegedly happened, says that she was working as a steward on the yacht that Sean Combs had rented or chartered. And she was in charge of providing food and drinks for a 12-hour period. And she actually said that she believes the alcohol on that yacht had been laced with drugs because she says that women would have one drink and then almost immediately pass out or start falling over. And again, that is very consistent with.
Right here is where I realized I had actually muted myself. But while I'm sitting here talking, I'm saying I believe the young lady because the DEA, was it Homeland Security, ABA, all the three other guys, they didn't go in there for nothing. They went in there and they knew exactly what they were looking for because there were drugs that were inside of bottles that shouldn't have been there. So I believe with all the alcohol and everything, I believe that a lot of people were drugged. I believe everything that went down because this is the life that these people led. So I'm going to see if I talked over my continuous talking here because right here, I did not know that I was muted. I'm sorry,
with
guys.
allegations that have been made before against Sean Combs. In fact, she described what she thought would be a wholesome family excursion to what she describes as a hedonistic environment. Now, going back to Christian Combs, O'Markey says that Christian, he'd been staying at a villa on the shore, but then he would come onto the yacht in the evenings to party and have a good time. And now we focus on December 28th, 2022. She says that Christian reportedly arrives on that yacht very intoxicated and then pressures her to take shots of tequila. She says that she did, that Christian allegedly tried to get her to drink more, and she tried to get her to drink more in the yacht's makeshift recording studio. And that's important, and I'll explain why in a second. The complaint reads, at this point, defendant C. Combs violently grabbed plaintiff's arm and began hurting her. He pulled plaintiff to the seat beside him and prevented her from getting up. And she says from there, she claims from there, that Christian allegedly kisses her neck and face as he gropes her legs, her breasts, her private areas. And according to her, she reportedly tells Christian, quote, excuse me, you don't touch my legs like that. I'll move my legs where I want to. If I want to do this, then I will. You don't touch my legs like that. Now, remember where I said this was happening, this recording studio? Well, the alleged assault was reportedly witnessed by Rodney Lil Rod Jones. This is a music producer who had apparently accompanied Combs basically everywhere for a year while they were working on Combs' latest album, Love Off the Grid. And we remember that Rod.
Okay, here goes another spot where I had talked and was actually muted. Little Rodney was the same person who said that he was raped by Diddy Bop. So if he has video evidence and he was there, and he knows what Bop was capable of. So I'm quite sure this young lady has evidence, and she's going to be
Rodney
just
Jones
fine.
has filed his own separate lawsuit against Sean Combs and others. And he was saying that he was in this recording studio when this was going on, when Christian and O'Markey were there. And he might even have some audio that was recorded of this interaction. And as I said at the time when we first broke down this lawsuit, that is key evidence if they really have that. Now, O'Markey says this is what happened next. She says she tried to go back to work, but Christian ends up finding her and wants her to find him a place to sleep for the night in the yacht. So she takes him to the cinema room of the yacht. And that is when she claims Christian stopped her from leaving, groped her, took off all of his clothes, and tried to force her to perform oral sex on him. Now, she says she was allegedly able to fight him off. Someone walks into the room, and then she was able to leave. And she said when she reported this to the captain, according to her, the captain berates her. And she alleges that the captain may have even been paid off by Sean Combs to keep quiet about what happened. And I will tell you what's really interesting about this complaint, embedded in the complaint are photographs that purport to be O'Markey's arms with bruises on them. And that is really interesting. You don't usually see that in a complaint like this. Now, she's not only suing Christian Combs, like I mentioned before, for all those different causes of action, but she is also suing Sean Combs too. You see, Sean Combs is named as a defendant because she accuses him of aiding and abetting Christian's behavior, as well as having premises liability because he was the leaseholder of the yacht. Premises liability means that you have a duty to keep people on your property safe from injuries. So she's seeking unspecified damages in this suit against both of them. Hey, so I want to quickly thank Upside for sponsoring this episode of
Okay,
Sidebar. They help
here's
us to
another
bring
spot
the
where I was
story to you.
talking.
And here's the kicker.
Nothing came out. I was thinking that this young lady, well, when you go to work, you would think that you were safe at work. No one thinks that they're going to go to work and then be assaulted. So I don't understand why she wouldn't. People think that she wouldn't sue Diddy Bop. He provided that type of environment. He it was he paid for it. So he has to deal with what the fallout. So I don't know, man. Y'all tell me in the comments what y'all think. Also, I wanted to say when the young lady said she was trying to go back to work and Diddy Bop Jr. was following her around and found her and made her go back to where he was, that's a problem. That is some stalkers type shit. I mean, so what was he trying to prove? That he had
Once
power?
again. So
So
I don't think we've had a
evidently
chance
he did.
to
So
talk
y'all,
about this
we're going back to
lawsuit.
it.
And now that the news is reporting that Christian has been served with papers here, why is that significant?
Well, it's significant because anytime that they have the opportunity to continue to remind the public of the malfeasance of Diddy, of Diddy's son, of anything related to sexually inappropriate behavior, sexual assault, it helps. It helps the government continue to, lay out the narrative of how bad Diddy was, how bad Diddy's son was. So I think it's consistent with, what they've been doing, putting it out there and really destroying his character. I'm not saying that he didn't do anything to deserve it. I'm saying it's consistent with what they're doing, whether it's the government or the lawyers that are suing him civilly.
Sure. I think I meant more in terms of the service of the papers. Serving of the papers, that's a
Oh,
requirement in a litigation, right? So now this is a real
yes.
moment where he has to respond. This is not just a filing. This is the next step once he's actually served papers. And he's served, by the way, as I mentioned, at his father's Miami mansion. That's what's being reported.
Right. Right. So when there's a civil suit filed, then it's filed, and then eventually you're right. Then it has to be served, and there's certain requirements, and after you get served, you have a certain number of days to respond. I can't remember the last time that a defendant being served even made the news, which goes to show the type of case that this is. This is not, it's not newsworthy that he got served, but this is the only case that I've seen that. But this case continues to come back, and it seems like if the public isn't getting tired of it. So it's rare to
Um,
see that even the service makes the news.
I got to tell you, one of the things that's interesting about this is I couldn't tell at first. Was this new news? Because we talked about her filing this complaint against him, this lawsuit against him months ago, I believe in April. But now we look at the docket and it says that on November 19th, 2024, there was proof of service by posting. This was filed by Grace O'Markey. And also on November 19th, 2024, it says proof of service by posting filed by Grace O'Markey as to Christian Combs, the defendant. And then it talks about the service costs and it talks about the mailing date. Mailing date was apparently October 23rd, 2024. So what's interesting about that is, and again, if I'm reading it correctly, isn't that a long period of time between filing and proof of service? Unless I'm missing something.
It is, but there are situations where people could be evading service. You can't find them, and what you really want is personal service. And posting basically means that they literally
Okay, here we go again where I thought I was talking and I was muted. What I was trying to let people know was that you can send out, you can get a served or get it set up or whatever the hell, file it a service. What the fuck? Yeah. Well, anyway, you can file it, but anyway, you can file it on one date. But if a person is running, then it it could take days or weeks or months, like Rudy Giuliani when he ran from being served. So it depends on how long it takes you to catch up with the person. A service date and a filing date are two separate things. So I hope I said it right because I'm not a lawyer.
literally
So
did
I'm
that. They
going to
posted the
continue
lawsuit,
on.
and there's some states that allow for posting. There's some states that allow for substitute service, and there's some states that allow for posting only after you've made certain requisite attempts. So it's very possible that they had been trying to personally serve them, they gave up, and then they went ahead and posted it. It is rare to see that many months pass, but you have multiple defendants in this case, and I believe that they filed it. It was in the media. They're working on it, so it isn't completely that rare to see this many months pass when you're dealing with celebrity clients. You're dealing with clients that have a layer of security that prohibits you from actually serving them like you would a regular person.
And by the way, I can't confirm this in any way. If there was difficulty in serving him because of something Christian Combs did, right? In order, and I'm not, I want to be very clear. I'm just
Sure.
assuming, I'm making the
Mhm.
allegation. I'm not saying he did this, but if he created a difficulty in service, typically speaking, whether it's him or any defendant in a civil case, does that hurt
You know
them?
what?
Does that hurt
You
them in
know
the
what?
case?
Let me stop.
Well, I
Let me
mean,
stop. Wait a minute.
hurt them in the sense.
You mean, see, this is why I hate doing stuff by myself. I just realized I was doing all that talking and had myself muted the whole time. I had came with some big brain shit and had spit it out there and was muted. But I'm not gonna repeat it. I'm just ride it out, just like it nothing happened. I'm gonna act like I didn't mess it up. Yup, I messed it up, but I'm gonna act like didn't nothing happen. So let's keep it moving.
Sense that, yeah, I mean, anytime that it looks like you're evading service, it hurts the, the how the public views you, because if it feels like if you're not, facing up to the lawsuit, and in the eyes of the judge, they can look and be like, this guy's, in the end, in the affidavit for the process server, it will detail the attempts to serve and what occurred. So if you have someone that's fighting with the process server, not opening the door, which is situations that I've had in my career, yeah, that goes in an affidavit. And when the judge reads it, the judge already knows that you're not acting professionally, you're not dealing with things the way that you should. So yeah, it could hurt, but it shouldn't affect a judge's decision in the case. But as we all know, anything can affect the way a judge views you.
Right. And again, I want to make this abundantly clear. I'm not saying he
Woo.
did that in any way. I'm not saying he made it difficult to serve the papers. It's just if I'm looking at the docket, I'm thinking when the lawsuit was filed, that time difference is something that's interesting. So now I want to ask you about the case.
Okay.
I want to ask you about her lawsuit. I mentioned it before, I described it before. What stands out to you? Do you think it's a strong case against Christian Combs?
I think it is a strong case because you have witnesses. You
Oh,
have an
oh.
audio recording of him actually telling her to take shots, and they put the transcription of what is in the audio, and then it goes in conjunction with this criminal indictment of his father and the similarities. So it's not.
Guess what? There's an old saying, and yes, I'm old as hell. I'm 62, and I'm all right with it. There's an old saying: "Live by the sword, die by the sword." Diddy Bop was running around recording every team. Okay, so now they had recorded every team. Now every team they had recorded them being copped by the cops, and now he can't say it wasn't him. And then see, he got some more people caught up. See, this is what y'all get with y'all little nasty self going a little freak off. You know what? Y'all ain't none of my kids. Let me mind my business. Let's get on. Let's keep it going.
Just the isolated allegations that Diddy's son did this. It's in conjunction with he's sitting in a jail cell charged with, all these other crimes. So I think it is a strong case. And what it shows, what the complaint is illustrating is this completely out of control party on a super yacht, including various celebrities, that when you read it,
From everything that's going on and from everything that I'm reading, because I'm taking one for the team, because I hate listening to all this stuff because it's kind of traumatizing by me being a survivor of childhood, stuff. And then my daughter was a survivor of stuff. This is hard to even listen to. And some of the stuff that Cassie had in her paperwork and some of the things that some of the other lawsuits and these people are not suing for nothing. Now, some of them, I will admit, some of them haven't come across. They have lied. Now, there are people out there that will lie and jump on the train, and if they can get a bag, I understand that. I'm not dumb enough to think that people are out there lying, but everybody can't be telling a lie on this person because it's just way too many people. 100 and what the dude Bugsby is representing like 100 and some people individually gonna, bro. Come on, man. And I don't want to hear about all that. Well, you're trying to take a black man down. Look, let me tell you something. Y'all gonna bite me with that. Dead ass. Uh, it's not about you being black. It's not about you being white. It's about you being a predator. It's about you being a demon. And it's demons are being, hey, y'all time is up. And I'm loving what I'm seeing going on through the music industry, through what's going. I love what I'm seeing because y'all reign is about to be over, and Diddy Bop, he's getting his niglet wake up call. He done pissed off the wrong people, and cause even with Cassie getting paid, this would have never been. Look, let's keep going.
kind of rings true. I mean, when you read it, it doesn't come off as being something that's completely unbelievable. You have to take into consideration that someone like Diddy, that's been living this type of lifestyle for a long time,
Mm.
and then you have his 25-year-old son that maybe just acting like a 25-year-old, but a
He's
25
watching
year old
his
that's had
daddy.
no control in his life, that doesn't know what boundaries are, or what the appropriate parameters
Look, commercial. You know
By
what?
2050, there will be more
Honesty.
plastic than
Okay, come on.
between a man and a woman are, because when you read it, the way it describes he was acting is completely inappropriate, and there's going to be a lot of witnesses, people that worked on that yacht. That we're talking about, I don't know how many 20, 30
If
crew
it's a
members.
super yacht,
I
ain't
don't know
no
how
telling
many
how
people
many
are on a
people.
super yacht, but there's plenty of witnesses and audio recordings, and I think it is a strong case against this son.
Look, and what you said, these are allegations against Christian Combs. We don't know the full story. We don't know if these are
Right.
true. I will tell you, I thought was interesting, embedded in the complaint were these pictures of what appear to be, or what is purported to be, Omarki's arms with what appear to be bruises on them. And I'm curious what you made of that. Is it typical to include that in a complaint, to include actual photos of the alleged abuse?
Dude.
I was going to mention that because I haven't seen it, and I haven't seen it in the actual complaint. I've seen it like exhibit attached to the end of the complaint. They just put it straight in the complaint in
Right.
picture format, and I think if I had to guess, it's just because of the high profile nature of this case and the fact that the plaintiff's lawyers, know that the complaint itself is news. So that complaint is going to get circulated. And you know what? We're going to make it easy for you. We're going to give you the pictures. We're going to spoon feed you the evidence in the complaint, that to make it easier for the viewing public, which is consistent with they're kind of proving their case in the media before it even gets to the courtroom,
Yeah.
by way of pictures. And
Do you think
But is that fair? Public opinion and going to court are two different things. You can say whatever you want out in public. You can lie all you want. But when you're behind, then listen. Let me tell you something. You sit up there in the witness stand and they put your hand on the little Bible. Even though I'm not religious or nothing like that, but you already know that you can't tell no lie, because you will go to jail. And going to jail ain't fun. Actually, none of your business how I got there. But anyway, it ain't fun, bro. So I'm gonna tell y'all now, if I know anybody doing anything, don't tell me, because I'm not going to jail for none of y'all. Not nan one of y'all. Swear to God. If y'all want to have a free party, send mama home. Send me, put me in the Uber. I don't care. Send my ass home before the shit start. Okay? So, because I don't want to be a witness to nothing, because I'm snitching. Not going to jail for none of y'all, for real. On my daughter's soul. She's no longer here. I'm not going to jail for not nobody. So everybody that was involved with Diddy Bop, that supported Diddy Bop, that knew what was going on, all of them need to go down. Now, if y'all want to watch the rest of this sidebar with Jesse Weber, I'm gonna put the link in the description so y'all can go over there and take a look at it. Because Jesse does a lot of deep dive stuff. My ADD kicks in, and I'm trying to do all that, bro. I ain't trying to do all that. So y'all have a good one, and I'm gonna see y'all on the next one, and I'm gonna see how to get out of here, because I done forgot how to do this again. Jesus Christ! And I'm here by myself. Y'all have a good one. This is Charlene from What the Fuck News Place. Bye.
You ain't gotta lie, 'cause I ain't your main. We both out here doing the same thing. You blessing her, I'm blessing him. We bless each other, wood like the reverend. Let's keep it real, I'm not your girl. You ain't gotta lie to me. Say you in love and I rock your world. Calm down, boy, you ain't gotta lie to me. You don't belong to me, I don't belong to you.